A very good afternoon. It's 12 o'clock. It's good to see you watching this show. Location is one of the slogan in real estate. I know you are conversant with it. It doesn't get old with time. Today we are talking about top location to invest in land in Kenya. I'm fully aware we are going to 2022, just 1 month. This will be an electioneering year. We'll have elections. The political temperatures will be very, very hot. But of course, we can't forget to invest. So today I'll be telling you about top places, top locations in Kenya where you can invest in land. There are many ways of investing. You can do stocks. You can do government papers. These are bonds, treasury bills. You can do money market funds and many others, but you can also do real estate. Real estate has many segments. Just to bring you up to speed, we have land, we have residential, we have commercial, we have the hotel industry as well. It's part of real estate. We have many other, including those who organize real estate forums like Home Expo and stuff like that. There are many segments. Today I'll be focusing more on land. I have observed over the years that even when real estate is affected, most of the time the land segment is rarely affected. It is very resilient. The figures keep going up. People keep buying land. If you check the figures in our offices, you can as well be able to attest to this fact. So land is one of the best investment schemes that you can have. It's resilient. Sometimes the prices can stay stagnant, but over a long time, the prices keep going up. This is in an African country. Kenya is one of the best places to do real estate. That's why you see all manner of foreigners. You see Chinese. You see guys from the US. You see from the Middle East, Qataris and stuff like. So many people interested in our real estate space. Because it is resilient, you get the best returns in this market. So which are these locations? One of the best places to look at is our Kitengela. Kitengela, I think, is a very good example of what land prices can become. It is a very good example of what capital gain is in terms of how much appreciation you can get. Kitengela was one dusty town, I think, in the early 2000s. There was nothing there, gazelles, antelopes, and people used to go there to buy land. It's used like places where I would not like to go. You come back and you are very dusty. I think you have seen those memes and those photos. You go there, get very dusty. And Kitengela is a good example of what land can do, especially in your life, investment life. Can appreciate so many times. I think it might have appreciated more than 50 times by the time the real estate boom started, early 2000. When I was in college. So I'll start with the hottest places as we go to 2022. The hottest places where you can put your money in land. And the number one in my list is Nakuru City. And I'll be able to tell you why these places and also be able to pinpoint specific estates where you can put your money. If I say Nakuru County is big. Which are these specific places? But before then, why Nakuru? Nakuru is a city. 6 months down the line, it has been made a city, the 4th city in the country. What does it mean when a place becomes a city? There are many things that keep changing to align with our state status. Now, the first thing is the population. Real estate is influenced or impacted or affected by population. These are basic factors: population growth, urbanization, and the strength of the economy. Very, very important. Nakuru County is the third largest populated county in Kenya after Nairobi and Kiambu counties. It's also one of the richest. That is one of the factors. Population growth affects real estate. In the last video, you talked about how to know where to invest. Follow where people are going and invest there. Know where people are going and follow them there and invest. Population is one of the factors. There are also friendly policies. I talked about the cost of setting up a business in Nakuru County. It's much easier than Nairobi. Nakuru City, more easier than Nairobi, in terms of the cost of setting up a business, cost of licensing and stuff like that. If you look at the survey by Kenya Association of Manufacturers, they talked about Nakuru was ranked as best area for small businesses by Kenya Association of Manufacturing in terms of ease of starting a business, friendly business environment, ease of getting a license. We also talk about infrastructure. This is part of the economy. If you go to Nakuru, there is also something that looks like a super high as one of the infrastructure development. I'm aware about the impending start of the dual carriage from Limuru all the way to Nakuru. Nairobi is one, actually Kenya at the moment is one big construction site. We cannot hide that fact. Wherever you, I know there are many political bearings, people talking about infrastructure not being done. I'm not talking about politics, but you can see the number of infrastructure projects that are being done. Mainly roads, they affect, it's a big deal to us in the industry. They affect the investment, see the foundation. If you look at the big countries in the world, US, they did their infrastructure in the 1930s. There's one president who came with a manifesto. They decided to do those superhighways all over the US, which is like a continent. If you look at China, the rise of China is because they have learned how to do infrastructure. Of course, it's not one isolated factor. If you look at Singapore, if you look at Dubai, we go there to see their infrastructure, right? Infrastructure is important, and it's coming to Nakuru. That's why Nakuru becomes one of the best places. Of course, infrastructure is also being done in other counties like Nairobi as well, but I'm looking at places that are fresh. Nakuru is fresh. They're just experiencing one of the biggest infrastructure projects that are going on. These also include the airport in Lanet. I know they have started doing it. I covered that in my previous video. An expansion of other city infrastructure, including bypasses and stuff like that, so that it looks like a city. That's why it is fresh, and that's why it's the biggest. I'm not surprised that even one of the places in Nakuru last year, but one, Gata Estate was rated as the best estate, the most appreciating, the highest appreciating estate in Kenya in the year 2020. I'm not surprised because Nakuru is one of the best places to be. Which are these places I've talked about? Gata, rated as with 21% appreciation of land prices. It was the best in the year 2020. We have Sobea Estate, which is just next to Gata. We have so many projects in that area. We knew this. We have done our research, and we found Nakuru County as one of the best places to take our investors so that they can get capital gain. People will build their own homes. I'll shock you. One of our projects we did in 2018, I think we are having between 50 and 100 houses in a barely 2 years. People are building there in droves. You can see it on the ground. Like they say, things on the ground are different. If you go to the ground, you'll be very surprised the number of development people are doing in our estates. There's also Lanet. There's an airport there. Lanet has been known as a home of battalions. That's one of the things that most people don't know, mostly because of the military. The Kenya Military Academy is there. The military barracks were established during the colonial era. They are doing an airport there. Among many other factors. We also have pipeline area. This is before you get to Nakuru. There's a tarmac that goes to Elementaita town called Motaita, popularly known as Motaita. I think the rise of that place is because of the affordability aspect. You could get plots for 200,000. Unfortunately, that was like 3 to 5 years ago. No longer the case. Right now is between 400 and 1 million shillings. Of course, that's 100% increment because of affordability. So those are some of the areas, not exhaustive. There are many other areas in Nakuru. Those are some of the areas we find, especially when we are looking for projects to do. Those are the areas we focus on based on those factors. Number one is Nakuru County. Let's go to Nairobi. There are counties that surround Nairobi. They are called Nairobi bedrooms. If you look at the surveys that have been done, richest counties in Kenya. Of course, you look at Kiambu County. Kajiado County has been number one many times. Kiambu County as well. Nakuru goes to number 4 thereabout before you go to Mombasa and Kisumu. But number 2 is Kajiado County. We also have many projects in Kajiado County. I'll shock you. Kajiado County is almost the size of Rwanda as a country. Even in terms of economy, it might have the same GDP as Rwanda. Nairobi County is bigger than Rwanda in terms of GDP. I know some people don't have that information. So we have Kajiado County, and it is because of many factors. These are proximity. Proximity is very important. Proximity to where people are living. Can you be able to leave in the morning and go back in the evening? Come to work in Nairobi, do your economic activities, go back to the... So proximity is important. That's one of the factors about Kajiado County. They also are development like SGR. Kajiado has been rated as one of the richest county in the country many times. And this is true. They have a big piece of property, and they have places where new developments can come in. Even factories, there are so many. And I think Kitengela is the best example of what the estate can do, and it is in Kajiado County. Which are these areas in Kajiado County where you can put your money in? We are talking about land today. The number one is Ngong, where we have so many projects from username investment. Maybe 20% of our projects are there as a company. We went there and we could see the prospects. There was nothing at that moment, but you could see the area is 40 kilometers from CBD. Among these factors, there was a tarmac that was coming up. There was SGR that was coming up. You only have those prospects, and we sold properties for as low as 150,000 in 2016. Right now, we are doing at almost 800,000, 6 to 800,000. That is in a short 4 to 5 years. It has increased from 150 to almost 800,000. You can do the math. So Gong is one of the places. There's a tarmac going all the way to Suswa, from Gong to Suswa. Gong Road has been expanded all the way to Karen. They are finishing, and they'll go all the way to Gong. We have new infrastructure. We have Gong Market. There are new tarmacs from Gong to Rongai, all the way to Kiserian. I remember the government was planning to do a dual carriage from Bomas of Kenya all the way to Rongai to Konabaridi. That will become a circuit. The area is green. The area is nice. There are nice views, cool atmosphere for living. It has recorded. And actually in 2020 or 2019, Gong recorded the highest appreciation in prices as an estate. Gata last year. These are places that you have observed, and math do not, the figures and facts do not lie. Number two is Kitengela. Of course, we already know this. I will not be able to belabor the point. There are other areas like Kiserian and Ogatarongai where you can invest in. Very important. These are places where people are living. The one factor which you can always not miss. One factor where you can't go wrong. Look at where people are staying. Those are places. And also look at whether the land there has been valued correctly. There are places where people are living, but the prices are so low. You can tell the value is very low. Even in terms of stocks, you look at companies that have been devalued. Their value in the Nairobi Stock Exchange or the stock exchange is very low, yet the company is supposed to be valued higher. You buy that stock. It also works in real estate. Number three is Machakos County. Again, these are places that have proximity. We talk about Machakos County. If you look at maybe the leadership, they have been very vibrant. There are all manner of infrastructure coming in place. Of course, number one is proximity. Number two is quality infrastructure. As you all know, the Mombasa Road has been is being dualed all the way to Machakos Junction. There was talk about taking it all the way to Machakos Town. The proximity of Machakos Town, for example, these are places where you can live. Mombasa Road, majority of Kenyans live there. You can live in the morning and come in the evening, including Machakos Town. If you have used that road in the recent past, there's a lot of work that is being done. So Machakos is one of the places I would like you to invest, but Machakos County is big. It goes all the way to Matu. This other side of Machakos Town comes all the way to Athi River here in Mavoko. It is very expansive. And it borders Kiambu County and Murang'a counties on the other side of Garissa Road. So it is expansive. Where are these areas where you can invest in Machakos County? Of course, you can start with Mombasa Road, start with Athi River where we did a project. They actually one of the places where they are doing a project called Woodcrest Athi River. We did a project there. Is a residential community. They are doing a tarmac there from Mombasa Road all the way to Joska. This is a 25-kilometer stretch. So those guys who bought there, the next time you visit, you'll find a tarmac. Good news. But we're also looking at the river, the side of Mombasa Road, going all the way to Machakos Town. There's so many developments coming there. The only challenge in those areas, prices of land has gone up. But we also have Matu on the other side. Matu is a big town for those who have not been there. It is in Garissa Road between Thika and Kitui. This is one of the places where people are investing. The land there is valued. The value is low at the moment. Machakos is a big, Matu is a big town. It has been experiencing rapid growth. You would expect most people who come from the other areas who don't want to come to Thika or Nairobi or go all the way to Machakos, they can side their services in Matu town. All the banks are there, all the services are there, you don't need to come. So people are finding one of the places where you can be able to build and stay. But one of the things I noted about Matu, Machakos is a cosmopolitan, the people there are friendly. One of the things I found is about retirement. For those who do not like to retire in the middle of the city, they can go to the other side of Machakos County, which is not very far. You can find pieces of land where you can farm, of course do irrigation and stuff like that. So for retirement, I would ask people to go there. We have sold plots for as low as 200,000, but of course the value has increased. We have a project going for 379,000 touching the highway, Garissa Highway. You can consider those places for retirement. Very perfect places you can come to the city. You can be able to go to the other side. You can be able to go to Mombasa as well without having to come to Thika. There's a new highway that has been built from Kitui all the way to Kibwezi in Mombasa Road. These are developments that all of us need to know. They have a meaning to the way we invest, to the way we live. So it's important for you to know. Matu, I was also talked about at the river. The other places are places like Syokimau. I don't need to belabor that point. That's where a good number of Kenyans are living, doing very humongous houses. These are classy houses. I know the prices are very high, but you like to live next to major facilities like the airport. You can be able to access town very fast. You can be able to use SGR. You go all the way to Mombasa. Syokimau is in the middle of all the infrastructure that I know of. And it is a cool place to live. It's a cool place to live if you want to work in town as well. There are many other places in Machakos County. I know I'll not be able to list all of them, but you are very specific. One of the ways to benefit from real estate investment is investing in selected real estate. What is selected real estate? There are places, not all real estate investment can be able to make you rich, wealthy, or get the capital gain you are looking for, or the return you are looking for. It's selected real estate. There are certain segments, there are certain places, certain locations where if you put your money, you'll get back your return. And those are the places we are focusing on today. The other place in Machakos County, which is very big, this is actually one of the best places, is Kajiado Road. You have, I believe you have heard in an advertisement, in radio, in TV, in social media, you always hear about Mala, Kantafu, Joska, Kamulu. It used to be Ruai, and people kept going down. One of the studies that was done by this is government, by the Ministry of Roads at some point, is the traffic flows. They do these projections to be able to know where to put infrastructure. The place with the most people in the next 10 years will be Kajiado Road, followed closely by Mombasa Road, followed closely by Wayakiwe, Gong Road, which other road, and Magadi Road to some extent. But the place with which will have the biggest population is Kajiado Road. So what they are doing, they are planning to do that road all the way to Tala and maybe do an SGR line. Those are the developments that will come later. And most Kenyans are building there. You could easily find plots going for even 50,000 at some point. As time went by, the prices increased to 100 to 200,000. Right now, you'll be lucky to get something below 400,000. There are so many Kenyans that are building there. Business have cropped up. Nyamachoma joints, hardware joints, meaning people are building every day, and many other kind of establishments, including churches as well, because people are moving there in droves. So if you want to invest, that is one of the places where you'll find the majority of Kenyans living in the next 10 years. Do you want to be left behind? Put your investment there. Can be land, can be a house. Right now it might not look like a good idea, but 10 years to come, you have the infrastructure. It will be so easy to go to Kantafu, places where it takes so long right now to go. Of course, it's like an 1 hour's drive from Nairobi CBD at the moment. That commute duration will be cut by half in the next 5 to 10 years because they'll do this infrastructure. We leave Machakos County. Number 4 is Kiambu County. Kiambu County is one of the places where land is very expensive. An average price of an acre of land is 39.7 million. Of course, depending on where it is. You have those fronting for 100 million shillings. You go to Runda, which is in Kiambu County, or Ridgeways. Some part of Runda is in Nairobi County. You'll find land going for, an acre going for something like 80 million shillings or 70 million shillings. But the average is 39.7 million shillings. Kiambu is one of the most interesting places because of proximity. It looks like a suburb, is green. These places receive rainfall. That's why you find very high properties there. Of course, Kiambu has developed for many years, way before Machakos and Kajiado counties. But because the reason it is here, because there are other places, maybe not Kiambu Road, which is extremely expensive. There are other places which you can focus to get pieces of property, and Username is also looking into it. Of course, the first is Thika Road. Thika Road, a good part is in Kiambu County, Roiro, Juja, and stuff like that, especially Juja, part of as you go to Thika as well. There are many places there, but I know the prices are very expensive. But you have other places that are coming up. Kikuyu area, we have Southern Bypass. There are all manner of small tarmacs that are being done by the national government, by the county government. We have Kikuyu area, the Goto area, that's the larger area. We have Gikambura, we have Zabezi, and now we have this superhighway from James Gishuru all the way to Limuru. That's a new area. And this other side of Ruaka going all the way to the highway, going to Nairobi Nakuru highway. That whole area of Limuru Road and stuff like that, it's not a joke. These places are opening up, places where you could find villagers who are living there. They're selling those plots to investors, people who can do flats of land there. You buy land there, it might be expensive at the moment, but I expect the prices to keep going up. The last one, Konza Technology City. Konza is in Kajiado, Makueni, and Machakos. That's why I did not group it at our county, because Konza is big. It will be one of the biggest cities in the next maybe 30 years in Kenya. It will be comparable to Nairobi, Nakuru, Kisumu, and Mombasa. What does that tell you? Right now it's blank, no people who are living there at the moment. Well, of course, there are people who are living there, but the majority of people are not there. But you can imagine what Nakuru, Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu is at the moment in terms of population. There will be communities and communities there, people living there. There will be new churches, universities, shops, hardwares, hotels, big and small. There will be population, people doing all manner of things. Millions of people will move to Konza, maybe in the next 10 years, because Konza is being built. One of the things about media, they will not bring you about this development because sometimes it's not newsworthy. We understand this because it's investment, it's not interesting, this is not entertainment. But what I'm telling you is that there's a lot happening in Konza as we speak. Of course, we have done projects there. This one is being done. There's a Kenya Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. This is from South Korea, called KAIST, which is being set up as a moment as we speak, being completed in 20. This is a university that will bring people there. These are data centers that have been built. These are almost a 10-story structure. That is, it's a beehive of activity. The government has allocated so much money, and we hope this will bring more people on board. So in the next 10 years, I believe people will migrate there. And that's why I'm saying, for the moment, the prices of properties there is very low, especially land. But it will not stay like that. When you have millions of people living there, you can imagine the prices of plots in Westlands, prices of plots in South B, Syokimau and stuff like that. That is the exact same situation that will replay. Know where people are going and follow them there. Konza is the place to be. Konza Smart City and environs. Of course, is that buffer zone which was developed. You have to follow the county rules and the national government rules when you are developing. But you have a big expanse. Land is there in plenty and it's so affordable. These are one of the places where you can go and put your money there. That is number 6. Very, very important. I would like to finish this by saying, and I repeat for the, maybe for the 5th time, know where people are going and follow them there. That's the way to invest. And there's the formula you follow in username investment. We keep knowing where people are going. And this, what factors do you need to check? You need to check, number 1, population. That's where people are going, where people are migrating to. Because of devolution, people are going to the counties. Which counties are favorable, like Nakuru. Number 2, infrastructure, which is being developed everywhere. We are borrowing a lot of money for that. What does that infrastructure portend for your investment? So any place where there's a lot of infrastructure development, expect growth, people will move there and properties will increase in value. The last thing is economic growth. That's why economic growth is very important. What does it mean? More people are able to get money into their pockets. When you get like an increase of salary from 50 to 100, what happens? You go and buy maybe more gadgets, you buy a plot here, you take your kid to a different school. That school is an investment belonging to a company, belonging to somebody else. That's how economies grow. So economic growth is very, when you see the economy growing, know that that is a very important time to invest. So in 2022, even as we approach the electioneering year, real estate is resilient. That's why I keep telling people, please invest in it. It might look stagnant, but when the economy picks up, it's one of the vehicles of investment that picks up extremely fast. I just hope these areas are places that you're going to follow up, do your own due diligence, read as much as you can, watch videos like this so that you get informed, and I know you'll be able to make the best decision, even as we approach 2022. Those are the 6 places I believe in the country where you can invest in. We have done our own research as Username Investment Limited. Please use that information here. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram as well. Like our Facebook page. And please, if you have any question, get back to us. We really appreciate. God bless you. Have a good 2022. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And I hope you'll be able to invest and make wise decisions. God bless you.